Hey guys, I wanted to introduce you to a old knife that is brand new in box. This will be sold maybe by the time you see this, but this knife deserved its own video. This is the Kershaw 1790 Turbulence, brand new in box. I've had this for many years, made in USA. Never used it, but really, really liked the design. This is a speed safe mechanism, but it's not Ken Onion. Can anyone guess who designed this? You might be able to tell. Tim Gallion. Now, from what I understand, Tim Gallion actually used to work for Kershaw, Kai USA, and he was a employee there for quite a while, and then he decided to branch out and do his own thing. Now he's a custom knife maker. I don't know how often he's making custom knives, but he certainly has a name in the game. If you haven't heard of him, Tim Gallion is extremely talented. This guy is excellent in what he does. There's other YouTubers who have some of his custom knives. I've never handled any of his custom knives. They look truly outstanding. And for a production knife, let me tell you something, guys. This is truly outstanding. The design, the ergonomics. I mean, it is wonderful. It's really excellent. Great snap. Beautiful design. In my opinion, superb ergonomics, at least for me. I think it's really great, especially for a budget price. I mean, this knife back when they released this, what was this, maybe 2006? I don't know if it says the date on it. Hold on, let's see. No, it doesn't. From my understanding, though, these came out probably around like the 2006 era time frame. And I'll just try to point out some of the things that I think are really quite neat. So it's got this very nicely machined G10 handle scales. These are not thumb studs, they are blade stops. But you can see, look at that design. I don't know if you can see how there has been some milling done here in the G10. I think that's very interesting. I initially thought that was, I think that is, let me see. I don't think it's touching from what I can tell. Well, maybe, yeah. No, I think it is. I think it's for the blade stops, kind of rest on the liner and then on the G10. I think that's quite an interesting feature. And I'll be honest, I never really noticed that before until I made the video. Dead center. I mean, this knife, I didn't say. This knife probably cost like, who knows, $50, $60 when it first came out. 14C 28N, liner lock, just a really beautiful design. Now, a lot of the old Kershaw clips were quite goofy, and this one is a little, but it's a lot more functional. My opinion. It's not like this spoonbill clip, that's just very gaudy and odd looking. This is, it's different, but it's a lot more simplified and functional, in my opinion. Tip down, tip up, and tip up on the right-hand side as well, on the show side, which I think is great. And when you open the blade stops rest against the liner, the G10 as well. So very thought out, very well thought out. There's your blade stock thickness. Comes to a nice acute point. I mean, this blade design is just beautiful. Got like this drop point sweep with a slight swedge. That edge is unmolested. Never used it. I'm actually partially thinking of keeping this behind and, keeping it. But, I got to get rid of some of the collection. And sometimes that means making sacrifices. Not the thumb stud. The thumb or the flipper tab. No jimping, but still, it's not hard to access, nor is it hard to actuate. It just works, fires out. Man, I wish that Kershaw still made speed-safe mechanisms like this. Knives designed like this. They, in my opinion, I think they kind of lost their way. Good company, but surely they started substituting with all the China junk, and it's not the same. There's your lockup. Everything is just so well done. I don't know if you can see in there. Let's see. Is that kind of milled out? Looks like it a little bit. Get on this side. Yep. Weight reduction there a little bit. But this thing is really cool. Really cool design. Probably one of my favorites. I like Ken Onion, and I like a lot of his designs, and he made a lot of great ones. But Tim Gallion is a maker who deserves more credit. And if you're a knife guy, I think you'll know his name. I think you will certainly be aware of his work. He's designed a few others, like the Junkyard Dog and maybe one or two others. He wasn't as prevalent of a designer with the Kershaw line compared to Ken Onion, but he certainly had a spot in the rotation, I should say, of designers. And this piece is no exception. It's truly outstanding for a budget knife. I mean, the fitment, the quality, the attention to detail, it's all there. It truly is just outstanding. I just want to really go over this knife so you can get the full detail of everything. A little lanyard hole goes to the frame. I left the pillow pack on there. Fixed pivot. Yeah, this piece is outstanding. If you can find one, and I'm sure someone will really want this, and they'll be happy with it. I hope they'll keep it in good condition, if not brand new. I was very grateful to have it all these years, but it's a collector's piece for me, because who would have thought that honestly, who would have thought that these would have been collector's pieces? And I'm sure there's so many people like that over the years, that they own knives or they own, baseball cards, right? Like our parents when they were younger. What did? They put the baseball cards in between the spokes of their bike, and they rode down the road, making that repetitive noise in between the spokes, and they, ruined cards like Mickey Mantle and Joe DiMaggio and Yogi Bear and all those old greats, right? And I think you just never realize when you're younger what something could be worth. I remember as a kid having the original, the original Super Nintendo, I think it was. And I had it, and I guess I got bored of it with some of the games, and I remember It's so funny. I just remember vividly having the opportunity to get rid of it, and I did. And then when I got older, I kicked myself, and I'm like, what the heck was I thinking? Because I just kept trading it in, you know, trading it in for the next one. Okay, and you own that console for the next number of years, 5 years, and the next best console would come out, and you trade it in for that, and you trade it in for that. Next thing you know, you look back and you say, wow, that was actually worth something. I should have held on to that, saved some more money, and just bought the other console separately. But hindsight is 2020. Do you think there's anything in 2025 now that is maybe just a commonplace thing or item, and you say to yourself, I'm going to chuck that, or I'm going to get rid of it, or I'm going to sell it? Might want to hold on to it. Might be worth something someday. You know, collecting is interesting. It's not for every last item out there, but many. So, yeah, that's it, guys. Just wanted to show you that. I hope you enjoyed a trip down memory lane with an amazing old school maker, designer. I don't think he's an older. I mean, honestly, I don't know how old he is. He's maybe in his 50s. Who knows? But he's not as old as like Bob Terzola or anything. But he's been doing this for quite a while, and he knows what he's doing. Check out his other work. If you ever happen to come across it, I think he has an Instagram page. But anyway, yeah. Thanks, guys.